Now we're going to learn about an amazing plugin which is going to enable you to bring your Figma designs all the way to Webflow in one single click. And that is the Figma to Webflow plugin. Now we're going to use as an example this beautiful website template provided by Bricks, which you can find on the Figma community. So simply search for Bricks Figma to Webflow kit and you're going to find it. And as you can see, one thing that is very important to notice right away is that everything is created utilizing the auto layout. Now, why this is crucial if you wanted to work with this plugin is because auto layout is actually mimicking and is quite parallel to the dynamics that go on when it comes to the Flexbox in Webflow. So it's really important to have everything arranged in auto layout. So for example, if we have a look at the header, you can see how this is nested within different auto layouts. And then over here, we have the main two containers, which are the SAS logo and the navbar on the right. And the auto layout is set in a way that is going to work well when it comes to the responsiveness in a Webflow. So if you actually go ahead and try to resize this, you can see what I mean. So let's jump right into the plugin. I'm going to select the header one and I'm going to search under the plugin for Figma to Webflow. You're going to find it right here. Now, at the moment that this loads up, you're going to need to connect your site. So there's going to be a mini introduction where they're going to ask you at the very end to connect to your Webflow account. So just do that, sign up or sign in. And after that, you're going to be able to view this section right here, which in essence is going to require you to select the specific section that you want to copy, and you need to select the site that you want to paste it to. Then over here, there's one of two questions. Essentially, what is the HTML tag that you want the current selection to have? So we're simply going to go with div, but you can also go with section. This one's specific for links, so most of the times you're going to deal with div or sections. And you also have a responsive option. Now this, as you can see here from this toggle, is specify which breakpoint size you want this selected auto layout to shift to vertical stack. Now in this case, we're not going to really worry that much about it because we're going to manually set it up afterwards. But at that point, you can just leave it to non-responsive. So simply click on copy to Webflow, and as you can see, it's going to do its magic in a very short amount of time. I'm back on my website, and if, for example, I go back, I can open up the navigator, simply select the body, and paste it with Command plus V. I believe in Windows is Control plus V, and just like magic, we have our component. Now, if you have a look at it, you can see that we have this main containing div, then there is a section within the navbar container, and everything else is exactly as it is in Figma. So you remember that alignment space between that we had in Figma? That's exactly how the Flexbox is behaving right here. So it's very similar, or actually identical. It's just bringing auto layout to Flexbox. So quite useful. And then one note is in this specific case, you can see even how this is working in responsiveness. Of course, maybe we want to adjust these depending on how the background is going to be, but that is something that is quite remarkable if you ask me. And if we go to Figma to Webflow again by selecting this section right here below, and I say copy to Webflow, you can see how we can easily just go here, back on Webflow, select, just be sure that we're selecting the body, and we have the new section right here, which again is working in responsiveness. Maybe you need to tweak this image a bit, or maybe that is your desired outcome. But you can see how we can literally go through this site, and it's of course really important to have the auto layout structure well, because otherwise that is where the issues come in and where you're going to spend more time than what you're going to actually save by utilizing this plugin. But overall, very simple, very straightforward. And also another thing that I wanted to mention about this plugin is that you don't necessarily need to start from scratch whenever you're creating a layout. And also I realize that, especially for some of you who maybe aren't as experienced with HTML, CSS, it's going to be a bit harder to understand which is going to be the perfect way to structure your sections from a responsive standpoint, especially. So Webflow actually went towards and created all sorts of different components that you can utilize. So see that I'm creating a website from scratch in Figma. I can simply go ahead and utilize these components, which are essentially already optimized and structured in the perfect way for you to then export them into the actual website on Webflow. So very easy, and of course you're going to need to organize these as you wish, but this is actually going to help you quite a bit in saving time and also learning. So you can even go here and say that you wanted to create a section similar to this one. You can actually see what is the ideal way of creating and setting up this section, and of course you can always copy it to the Webflow. So over here, preparing the assets, I can go back and I can add it here in the body. You can see how this is going to work perfectly fine right away. Maybe the logos need a little bit of more padding, but you see the gist of it. It's going to be pretty straightforward. And there's also another really cool feature, which is the design system sync, which is going to enable you to sync the website with the design system in Figma, which is an area that is going to be explored in a future video. And on top of that, also some useful elements here under this right side menu. You can open the Webflow dashboard directly from here, and also a quick snippet to copy all text and color styles, copy text styles, and also copy the color styles. And there's also the plugin setting plus help and feedback. So this is going to be useful, the settings for the class prefix. So as you can see written here, every Figma node name will be converted into a CSS class in Webflow. So adding a prefix gives you context on the class origin. So you can actually add custom prefixes like custom class prefix Figma or whatever you desire really. And then you can also select the text size unit, which is as described here. Choose if you want to import text nodes with rem or pixel values, as well as you can choose the number variables unit. So choose the unit you want to sync for your number variables. So again, you can go with pixels or rem for both. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So start exploring this plugin today. I'm quite enthusiastic about it, although there are personally some things which I would be cautious with, and that is one of the reasons why I actually don't use it much these days. But we're probably going to discuss it in a future video. Just to give you a heads up though, it's really important to have a clean Figma file whenever you're creating these translations, because one of the main issues with plugins that I used in the past is, first of all, the code quality, the code structure, and also I'm a big fan of utilizing client first from ThinkSuite. So it's, as far as I'm aware, there isn't a direct connection with client first. So what I usually do for clients is actually utilizing client first, and then I use either some components libraries, or I create components directly in Webflow from my Figma documents. So everything is custom. But I just wanted to give you a heads up on that, because I don't want people to just blindly using what feels like the easiest solution without having considerations from the longer longevity and the functionality part of a project for a client in the long term. So keep this in mind. It's definitely a great tool, and I'm excited about what is up for the future, because I see this as just the beginning. So have a look at this tool, and I'll see you in the very next video.